Hello and how's it going, everyone? It is Skullzi here with the latest Bethesda news, rumors, and speculation, and I have quite a few interesting things to talk about in today's video because I have yet another discovery that gives us some direct indication and information into what sort of planets and stuff we should expect in regards to Starfield and even the Elder Scrolls 6, which should probably come out by the time most of the gameplay elements in Starfield actually exist in real life. I'm just joking, but that's what it feels like. And on top of this, there is some recent and very interesting news in regards to Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop as well, and I want to finish up today's video with some interesting and random Skyrim news on top of that, because I guess it's never too late to get new Skyrim news, apparently. And no, Skyrim isn't getting remastered again, at least not yet, but don't worry, this news is still interesting and entertaining. But let's not waste any more time and get to today's information. And I want to begin today's video with the discovery that I just made that has to do with Starfield, and I guess potentially even the Elder Scrolls 6. And yes, this has to do with more very recent job postings, and yes, I know, job postings aren't that exciting, at least not as exciting as actual leaked gameplay images and stuff like that, but one thing you have to keep in mind is we got a bunch of confirmed information from job postings in the past, and on top of that, actual confirmed games to be in development that haven't been announced at all yet. So even though job postings may not be the most exciting thing, we get, I guess, the most information about games in development that we haven't heard anything about yet from job postings, more than we get from like anything else. So the TL doctors, yes, we get real information from job postings, and generally we get the most information from things like this. And I have two job postings in particular that I want to talk about in today's video, and if you watched yesterday's video, I did talk about a couple job postings in that video as well. It seems like Bethesda Game Studios is undergoing a massive hiring spree right now, which is kind of interesting, but nonetheless, these two job postings that I'm talking about today seem to have been posted very recently. Both of these job postings are for Bethesda Game Studios in Maryland, which is their main development location, the studio that works on the Elder Scrolls 6, the studio that works on Starfield, the studio that works on the Elder Scrolls 6, and the studio that works on Fallout 5, which will probably come out in 2153. And the first job posting that I want to talk about is for a VFX artist, and I'm not gonna like artificially lengthen my video just for ad revenue by reading this entire thing word for word. Instead, I'll highlight the particular thing that I think is most interesting and the main thing that made me want to share this with you all, which is in the responsibilities right here. One of the main responsibilities for the VFX artist position here at Bethesda Game Studios is designing and producing a variety of high-quality art assets, which consist in the majority of VFX, and this includes animations, simulations of particles, volume fluid effects, liquids, and natural and non-natural environment effects. And this stood out to me because I pay close attention, probably way too much close attention than I actually should, to Bethesda Game Studios job postings on an almost daily basis, and I believe that I have never seen these particular words listed on any VFX posting before. I might be wrong about that, but this makes me wonder if they're going to up just the overall quality and physics and just effects for the different aspects in their gameplay environments, such as water, liquids, particle effects, and stuff like that. And one thing that kind of stands out to me, or one thing that just comes to mind when I think about this, is this would be important to do for a game like Starfield, where you'll have all these different planets with all these different diverse biomes, some of which have like acid foggy rains, others have just dry arid environments, and it's just super interesting to see this actual specific wording in this very recent job posting. No doubt, I would imagine that the majority of Starfield is already finished by now, and that any recent job posting for Bethesda Game Studios would probably more likely have to do with the Elder Scrolls 6 than Starfield. But I mean, this could have to do with both games, right? I mean, Starfield will probably have future updates and content, and if Starfield has such a good attention to detail and quality in terms of the gameplay environments, no doubt the Elder Scrolls 6 will as well. And if the Elder Scrolls 6 has diverse biomes and stuff, the same stuff listed in this job posting here under the responsibilities would apply just as much to the Elder Scrolls 6 as it would to Starfield. But nonetheless, I felt like this was interesting enough to share with you in today's video. And the next job posting that I want to talk about is for a contract quality assurance tester, and these job postings popped up about like a few months ago and then they disappeared. It was confirmed that Bethesda Game Studios in Maryland hired temporary contract-based quality assurance testers for Starfield specifically, because I checked on LinkedIn and a lot of these recently hired people for this actual job posting said they're testing Starfield Starfield on a contractual basis, which means on a temporary basis, just up until the game releases. So yes, this confirms what I said in yesterday's video. Starfield is actively undergoing a massive testing spree right now before the game releases next year, which means that this also coincides with what Todd Howard recently said as well, that The Elder Scrolls 6 is in a design phase, which means that the majority of the developers over at Bethesda Game Studios probably are working on The Elder Scrolls 6. I'm sure that there is a large percentage of them still working on Starfield, finishing up whatever bugs need to be fixed before the game gets released, but nonetheless, these are two job postings that I believe are directly linked to Starfield, and one which might be linked to The Elder Scrolls 6, and shows that Bethesda Game Studios is definitely massively bug testing Starfield right now, even a year and a half before the game's release date. And the first job posting shows just how much attention to detail in the environment that Bethesda is going to be paying attention to, even going as far as the physics system in liquids, water, and stuff like that. Next up, Ghostwire Tokyo literally just got announced to be delayed until early 2022. Tango Gameworks tweeted this out 5 hours ago from the time that I recorded this video on July 13th, and they said, "We've made the decision to delay the launch of Ghostwire Tokyo to early 2022. We want to get the game in your hands as soon as possible so you can experience the unforgettable version of a haunted Tokyo that we've been hard at work building. At the same time, we've also focused on protecting the health of everyone at Tango because, you know, the pandemic is still going down around the world, unfortunately." And they continue on by saying, "Our new release window will give us time to bring the world of Ghostwire to life as we've always envisioned it. Thank you for being patient as we work to bring you an experience unlike anything else we've ever made. We can't wait to show you more in the coming months." And I know some people are immediately disappointed by this, as you can see in the comments over here on Twitter, but like the saying goes, a rushed game usually isn't a good game, and the delayed game generally is a better game than it would have been if it was pushed out of the gate. So I understand why they would delay this. There's probably a bunch of stuff going on, even separate from COVID, with Akumi Nakamura leaving early on in the game's development process, so it doesn't surprise me to see the game get delayed, but I don't imagine the game to get delayed again. If Ghostwire ends up getting delayed again after this time, then I would say maybe you have reason to worry, but like I said, this means that they value the game highly enough to make sure that it's done, and it's the game they want to actually release, and Ghostwire Tokyo looks unique enough and awesome enough, in my opinion, that it actually warrants as much attention and development time, in my opinion, as they're willing to give it. But that finishes up this thing. And another quick thing I want to talk about is, in a recent PlayStation 5 trailer for Deathloop, it says at the end of the trailer that it is basically going to be a console exclusive to the PS5, and it will also be available on PC too, so don't worry. But this recent trailer says it'll be a PS5 console exclusive until at least September 2022. Not until September 2022, but at least September 2022. And the wording is very interesting. It makes me wonder just how open-ended this contract is between Deathloop and Sony in terms of the timed exclusivity, because usually when timed exclusivity is announced, that's it. It's only going to be exclusive for that period and it won't be extended. I don't know why that's the case. Maybe Deathloop is going to get delayed again. I don't know. Who knows? I could speculate in multiple different ways, but this is just something that I thought was interesting here. Either way, prepared for Deathloop to potentially be exclusive to the PS5 in terms of console exclusivity for perhaps longer than September of 2022. And like I said, it will be available on PC. This is console exclusivity. The PC isn't considered the console. It's its own spaceship entity, I guess, floating through the ethereal realms and just threatening all the other people that play on console. And lastly, the thing I want to close today's video out on is apparently someone bought a copy of Skyrim for $600 recently. I don't know why that happened. I mean, maybe Todd Howard like gently and romantically just like rubbed his fingers along it. I don't know why they spent $600 on this copy of Skyrim, but there you go. Someone made Todd Howard wake up in the middle of the night and dance, I guess. Either way, that finishes up everything I want to talk about in today's video. As always, if you enjoy the content, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn notifications on so you can stay in the know when it comes to the latest Bethesda news. And as always, huge shout out and much appreciation to everyone that has supported the channel over on Ko-fi, Patreon, or here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member. If you want to get a permanent feature video shout out at the end of every single one of my videos, you can support the channel over on Ko-fi, Patreon, or here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member. Links for all this and more are down in the description below. This list will be made this weekend. I'm finally almost done making the list, but either way, as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when I just freaked out and thought that my microphone has been silent this entire time I've been recording. Man, that would have literally made me have a freaking heart attack, dude.
it just works.